Welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I realized something. We were going to attempt to do an eggnog. We were going to do it tonight. And then I figured, you know what? Eggnog takes a little while, so we're going to push it to Saturday. And one of the reasons, and let me tell you the reason, I missed fall. I feel like we're in winter at this point, and I missed fall. And this year, I wanted to bring you guys one of my very first ever original cocktails, the Fall Up. I think I created this thing 20 years ago. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, I thought somebody was trying to get in the door. It was just this guy. It's just Ernie. I created this, I think, 20 years ago. And this is where I got the original idea to light the bitters on fire and add drinks to it. So, let's see. To be very honest, I don't remember exactly how I even made it. I don't exactly remember how it goes. So we're going to try and work our way through a 20 years younger Dr. Cush's brain in order to recreate a cocktail that I was very proud of for a little while called the Fall Up. Oh, that was a really clever name too. Boy, I gotta go back and talk to that guy. He seemed like he had good ideas. Watch this intro and we will come back and attempt to recreate one of my very, very old drinks, the Fall Up. I didn't pause. I've been told that I cut off some of my words. So I'm gonna stop talking and then I'm gonna push the intro. Ready? Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. We don't do a ton of original cocktails on this show. I feel like we put my spin on a lot of great cocktails when we talk about how we can change these cocktails here and there. I feel like it's somewhat indulgent to sit around and make a bunch of my cocktails that, of course, I'm going to have to rate. And what if I hate them? What if I hate them? Oh, God. What if I hate them? Okay, well, we're not doing that. This is one that I really do like. I really, really enjoyed making this. It was on an original menu that I helped create when I was just a baby bartender working at the association in downtown Los Angeles before I took over as the head of beverage for that whole company years before. They would open up the menu when we were creating them to put a cocktail on. This was for the fall menu. I was working with guys like Chad LeBlanc and Kyle Simone. I was there with George Lopez, not that George Lopez, a different George Lopez, a very, very talented bartender. Another guy named George Garcia. He was great. A lot of great people. Anyway, we all submitted our drinks and this one got on. I was very, very happy with it. All the bartenders hated me because this was the first time that I ever made anybody, and I have since, in every bar that I've ever helped staff, have made people light drinks on fire. This was the very first time I ever was responsible for lighting a drink on fire, and I think people wanted to kill me for a while. But I'm alive. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why dead people can't be, or dreaming people can't be pinched, but listen, I'm fine. I'm good. So we're going to try it. We're going to see if I can't remember what I did with it. I think I remember how it goes. And if we screw it up, hey, it's my cocktail and we're going to try it again some other time. So let me say hello to the people before we get too deep into it. Unfortunately, my chat app crashed. So this is where we're starting. Shawnee Panabaker says, good to hear. Now, I'm just going to accept that as Shawnee Panabaker taking the news that I was not killed by any of the people that I worked with as good news. Maybe that's what he's saying is good to hear. This is Moose. Moose is saying much better now. I am much better. I was just a baby bartender back then. I think this is kind of a rudimentary drink, but I was very, very excited about it. And I do think I'm a little better now. Yeah, Shawnee Panabaker and I were going back and forth. Shawnee Pennybaker pointed me toward Gregnog, which was his first eggnog. It sounds delicious. It really does. How you throw some maraschino in there. My eggnog is pretty basic, but I think that it works well. It's a little bit more labor intensive than the other one. So we're going to have to take a little bit of time. Here's DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby, ready to go. Here is Tiki Court, our newest regular. Good to see you, Tiki Court. Tiki Court's name is now, oh, which button do I push? This one? On the bar. That's Tiki Court. Thanks, Tiki Court. Let's see who else we got in the house. If you said something earlier than when Shawnee said, good to hear, and you want me to see it, you're going to have to retype it. I'm sorry to make you do that. It's like giving you homework. I don't want to do that, but here we are. Chris, Amy, and Cooper all here from Sacramento. Love a Sacramento triplet. That's what we got going. Kyle Tender is here. Let's give Kyle, I know Kyle likes this sound. I was not working in a tiki bar. In fact, I'm going to take a guess and say that I had no idea what tiki even was. We all remember a little bit of Cush history. Dr. Cush has worked in one tiki bar accidentally for about 6 months. Other than that, I came from the very snooty bar world. I was a very snooty bartender, and I came from that snooty world. So this is going to be one of those snooty drinks. But we will find that, hey, Dr. Cush might have had a... Why am I calling myself Dr. Cush? We're going to find that I probably had a penchant for punches much earlier than I even realized what I was doing, because we're going to build this cocktail, and we're going to talk about what kind of cocktail it is. Spoiler alert. I've already given it away. I think it's a punch. Dougie G in the place to be. Good to see you. Okay, I want to talk about this real quick. Okay, Tiki Tom, we are so happy to have you back. Producer Jen and I, when we have people that show up all the time and then don't show up. Now, this is not saying, hey, you guys got to show up to the show. We have weird talks every once in a while where I say, I haven't seen it. We recently did it with Bootopia, and we did it with Tiki Tom. We said, gosh, we haven't seen them for a while. Like, at what point do we check in? And we always tell each other, no, we are not going to check. We are not going to be weirdos to check in. But no, that we are thinking about you guys when you aren't here. So we've had to make a deal that we miss you. We think about you guys, but I almost started combing the Indiana phone book for a Tiki Tom. I didn't find him. BGB the Bun, good to see you there. Always a pleasure to have BGB the Bun. Lulu is at the stylist, so I'm representing us both tonight. It's good to see you. Aloha to you, Captain Jack. Forlorn Hope, reminding you to muddle that like button. Absolutely. Paul Bellamaro, happy Tiki Thursday. This is not a tiki drink. It has some tiki ingredients, but is there a video of the flaming old fashioned? In fact, Tiki Tom, there is. It's a very old video, and let me tell you a little bit about it. It's in the old bar. Anybody remember that I used to have a different bar that is definitely in the back of a Silver Lake apartment? We used to have a whole different bar. The bar was actually a table that we put up on stilts. If Kyle can find that, that'd be great. You can put that into the thing. I think it's just called Dr. Cush's Flaming Old Fashioned. We're going to remake that because if you guys have noticed, I've gotten deep into short editing. I edit for other people all the time. And now I am going to take that skill that I have honed. I'm going to put it on my stuff. Yeah, Motu Jen, my producer and wife. I married my producer. Really smart move of me. Yes, we do miss you when you guys aren't there. So yeah, there are two. Stay to the end and we'll get you both. Perfect. So there are two different Dr. Cush's Flaming Old Fashioned. We're going to get a good one. I have a brother-in-law who is really good with cameras. So I think we're going to shoot a real good one with that, because I can never get the flames really to show up when I do it on this set. Anyway, speaking of flames, we're going to get into an old cocktail of mine. This is called the Fall Up. It is called that because everything that I put into this cocktail reminds me of fall. These are all big fall ingredients, and it also reminds you of what glass to serve it in. We serve it up. It's the Fall Up. The Fall cocktail up. You can do the Fall Down if you want to. You just put it onto a rock in a rocks glass. That might even make this cocktail a little better. The Fall Down. But I like the Fall Up. It kind of had like a Shel Silverstein thing going for me. So let's start to do this. Let's talk about what a punch is. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak, and a little spice to make it all nice. That is how this cocktail is built. Accidentally. Completely on accident. I had no idea what I was doing. I accidentally stumbled into a cocktail formula that worked. I'm no genius. Sometimes I just get lucky. A lot of times I just get lucky. Almost all the time I just get lucky. And that's, what do they say about luck? They say it is being prepared when being prepared meets an opportunity. That's lucky. I just happened to be lucky with that one, and it happened to be fall, and we happened to have a little apple cider hanging around the bar that day, and I just happened to want to try and light something on fire, and there was my opportunity, and I happened to be working in a bar where so I was all prepared. Let's get into it. Let's start this cocktail. We are going to start off, obviously we're going to be shaking this cocktail. I have a glass ready for it. It is right here, and you will say, Cush, you probably won't call me that. Just be like, hey, cocktail buffoon. The glass isn't frosty. That's what we want. This is going to be a warmed up drink by the fire we add to it. Cool? Cool. Let's go. What is the most fall ingredient that I could find that has alcohol in it? Well, there are a couple. We're going to start off in the order that I would have thought this cocktail through, and I would have started off with something called Calvados or Calvados. If you don't have Calvados, you guys know me, Brandy, me. We are in a kind of a weird will they, won't they relationship. I love brandy. This is a brandy. It is not a grape brandy. It is not burnt wine. Instead, it is an apple brandy. It is, Calvados is a more regulated type of just apple brandy. There are great apple brandies on the market that are very cheap, sometimes hard to find. Highly recommend things like Applejack. That is a great liquor to have if you ever want to add kind of a sweet liquor to something and have it have that little apple crispness to it. This is Calvados, sort of like how brandy is the overarching, when we say brandy, we don't put another fruit in front of it. We're talking about wine. We're talking about burnt wine. We're talking about the overarching thing where you take wine and then you distill it. Calvados is apple brandy, but it is a specific type of apple brandy. It has its own specific rules to be called Calvados. So let's get into it. Very, very appley. There's no way that you smell this and don't at least smell a little bit of apple juice in there. That is what we want. We want that apple to come through. So we're going to hit this with 2 ounces. 2 ounces of some apple brandy. Now, since this is a punch, we could probably add a full 3 ounces of brandy and still get away with it. But there are other liquors that we're going to be putting in here that are going to give us a little bit more booze. So that's going to be our 3 of strong, and then 4 of weak. We're going to be shaking it. Okay, what else? What else is so fall that every time I pour it into a cocktail, I say, "Oh my gosh, it's like fall in a glass." Well, allspice. Allspice Dram. There are alternatives to this. We have back here, we have the Pimento Dram, which unfortunately doesn't have as much of that fall feeling, I think, as the St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram. This thing tastes like it is a kitchen on Thanksgiving. It has all of those cinnamons and allspice berries and all of those cooking spices that really, really make me think of fall. They're very warming. They're very inviting. Very inviting. They're beckoning. Their little steam hands trying to get this bear to go eat the pie. That's very much what this stuff tastes like. So we don't need a ton of it. The allspice dram will absolutely overpower a cocktail. We just want the hints of all that stuff. I'm sure there are a lot of great cocktails that have allspice dram as one of the main ingredients. That's not what we want in this one. We're going to do a short half. So don't hit it all the way to that half ounce line. We want a short half of some allspice dram. There we go, short half. It also gives it a little color. I think that's pretty nice. Otherwise, this thing does come out looking very much like cloudy pea. That's not ever, ever, ever what we want in a cocktail. Okay. I don't know how deeply 20 years ago I was looking into these very heavy booze forward cocktails. I don't know how much I was experimenting with things like the Manhattan, the Old Fashioned, the Last Words, that kind of, I don't know how deep I was into those. So I imagine, I just assumed that every cocktail, excuse me, that every cocktail would have some sort of citrus in it. So we're gonna throw a little bit of citrus in it. We're gonna throw a little lemon in here. Oh no, oh Kyle. We're gonna throw some citrus in once Kyle brings me one of the lemons that we happen to have in a bag in the back room of the bar. Kyle, would you mind grabbing me one of those while I go on to the next ingredient, and then we'll bring the lemon back. I completely forgot about the lemon. Anyway, oh, I hear him patting down the pitter patter of Kyle's feet. Ta-da! Thanks, buddy. Good, hey, good choice. If I know anything about Kyle, Kyle knows his citrus. Hey, Kyle, will you look at this real quick? Did the app crash, or has it just been people just paying attention? I feel like I haven't gotten anything. Yeah, okay. It's all good. Great. Sometimes I worry that you all disappear when the chatting stops. I think maybe, oh my gosh, what have I done? I have offended everybody by telling people that fall is a thing. Uh-oh. Are you a knife? No, you're not a knife. Are you a knife? You're a knife. We're going to take it. All right, we're going to go ahead and slice the nublins off of our lemon, and we are going to squeeze about a half of an ounce of some lemon juice. I know it says 1 of sour, but we're not putting in 1 full ounce of lemon. Instead, we are putting in, just 1 portion of lemon, and thus we are going to be putting in half of an ounce of some lemon juice by squeezing it. Yes, okay, good. Good. You guys are still, it was a little neurotic. That's all there is to it, just a little neurotic. I know in my heart of hearts, I am just in front of a camera talking to myself in a room somewhere. I do like the validation, though, that you guys are there. Okay, half an ounce of some lemon juice. There we go. Squeeze that in. I'm not even going to measure it. I'm just going to assume that Kyle knows what he's doing, and he would give me a lemon that has 1 full ounce of lemon juice in it, and go from there. Okay. What else? What else? Oh, DC Debbie Clark is not paying attention. Good. At least some of you are not paying attention. That's better for me. Okay. What else? Now, I tasted this cocktail when I made it like this, and it was lacking. It was lacking. I found it to be too sour. I found that there was too much of the allspice dram. Even when I put it at a 1/4 ounce, if you're just tasting allspice dram and some apple Calvados, or it's just some Calvados, you don't say apple Calvados, some Calvados, It just seemed a little plain to me, a little boring. Well, it happened to be fall in the bar that I was working at, and we had a little bit of this. This is some cloudy apple cider. This is going to do a couple things. First of all, it's going to give us some of our weak. One of sour, two of sweet, three of strong, four of weak. It's going to give us some of our weak. A lot of punches that you will see will be large format punches. They'll be tiki drinks because you have to put 4 parts of weak into those. Well, if you instead incorporate an ingredient that is going to add to the water in the weak part, and it is going to add to the flavor of the whole thing, then you are skipping a whole step. I'm talking to my how old would I have been? To my 23-year-old self right now, right? I'm looking him right in the eye. I'm saying, first of all, grow a beard. You look ridiculous without a beard. Where's your chin, son? Second of all, I would say you are on your way to making a punch. So the apple cider is going to give us that punchness that we're looking for. So I'm going to add a little more than an ounce of some apple cider. Cloudy apple cider, not apple juice, cloudy apple cider. Perfect. This right here, you put a couple dashes of bitters in here, you are in business. That is a completed cocktail. But I was young. I was a baby. Yes, has Cush never had ever not had a beard? Yes. I got married without a beard. Can I just tell you a story? You know how a lot of people are like, hey, I'm going to lose weight for my wedding. I said the opposite. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to gain a little weight for my wedding. That way, because that's the day that everybody takes your picture. That way, when I look back on my wedding album, when everybody's taking those pictures, then I would say, look how much weight I've lost. Everybody looks at their wedding pictures like, gosh, I used to be so skinny. I had the brilliant idea. Ooh, look at this idea. I'm going to put on like 10 pounds and then I'll lose those 10 pounds. Everybody's got these pictures of me and I'll be able to say, look how skinny I look now. Put on about 20 pounds since then. So it didn't work. I'm a little heavy in my wedding pictures, but I'm a little heavier now. It didn't work out, but I also shaved my beard for my wedding. And to be honest, my lovely wife looks like she is marrying a 12-year-old. I don't want to say anything about her. She is certainly on the up and up. She does look like she's robbing the cradle a little bit. Anyway, if anybody's listening and they're about to get married and they have that same brilliant idea that I had, put on weight for your wedding so that when everybody takes your picture, you can go back and look and say, look how skinny I am now. Doesn't work. It does not work. Don't do it. All right. Look good for your wedding pictures. That's the only advice I can give you about marriage. Other than that, the second piece of advice, marry Jen. You should marry Jen. It's easy. After that, don't put on weight for your wedding pictures. Marry Jen, and your marriage is going to be spectacular. Okay. I was a young baby bartender. I'm talking to myself right now, and I needed a cocktail to get on this thing. I had not had a cocktail on the first menu while I was working there, and I needed to get one on there, so I needed some razzle dazzle. So I started to put together some thoughts, some ideas, started clacking around the rocks in my head, and I was trying to get a spark going, and I got one. And that spark has stuck with me for an awful long time. We are going to light a fire inside of this cup in order to make people stop and say, "Oh my gosh, I gotta have that drink." I wanted it to be the most popular cocktail on the menu, and it drove the other bartenders crazy because you know what? It was, and it takes a long time to make. We're going to take some Angostura Bitters. We're going to take just a little bit of sugar. I found that the Angostura Bitters didn't light as well without sugar. So this is just some Demerara sugar. Just a little bit in here. Just a touch. Just something so that the Angostura has more or less like it's like putting a grip tape on your Angostura Bitters so that it has something to hold on to the wall with, the wall of the cup, so that you can then light it on fire. That was my thinking. I think that it works. I still use that technique to this day when using Angostura. And I still think that it works pretty well. And we're going to put a few more dashes than we would if we weren't lighting this on fire. If we're not lighting this on fire, I totally understand. You don't want to, burn a glass. You don't want to have to wash a burnt glass. You just want to have a no fuss, no muss cocktail done in about 30 seconds. That's fine. Put about 3 dashes of Angostura Bitters. We're going to put a little more than double that. So we're going to put 7 dashes of Angostura Bitters into this glass directly. There we go. Okay. This sugar is a little larger than what I wanted it to be. Maybe find some crushed sugar instead. Okay, we're going to give this a nice little spin. We see when we spin this with that sugar kind of helps all of the Angostura stick to the sides of the glass. That is good. The skinnier, let's find a better word. The less deep, the shallower. Can we do shallower? The shallower, we're gonna do shallower. The shallower the Angostura is in this glass means that we have more ability to have the flame hold on to the Angostura Bitters. So we're going to grab a couple toothpicks over here, which are put in a precarious spot, and we could, if we're not careful, knock down the whole thing. That's right. This is my friend Johnny Deluxe, one of my very, very good friends. He knew me when I was 23 before I had the beard. It was a long... Johnny and I had been friends for 20 years. A lot of years. Good to see you, Johnny. Always a pleasure to have you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope New York isn't brutalizing you. Okay, we are going to take these little toothpicks. Should we turn the lights off? Let's just try it with the lights off real quick. We're gonna turn one light off. I think we're gonna turn off this one. Oh, now we're completely off. Okay, this one. That's the one we want. Now we have what's called our key light, and then we have over here our fill light. All right, so that's key and that's fill. All right, we're gonna light this up on fire, and then we are going to transfer because we want to. We're going to light this up on fire right there. Get a good flame going in here. And then we are going to, we got to shake the cocktail first. Order of operations. Order of operations. Do the order right or you're going to get the cocktail wrong. It's my new song, Order of Operations. Give this a big old shake. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah, yes, we got it. Shaking that cocktail good. Perfect. We are good there. Do our cool bartender thing. There we go. Now our cocktail's ready. We can put it off to the side. We are ready now to pour. The fun thing about a shaken cocktail is if you let it sit here for a little bit, it's not gonna melt anytime soon. That ice, because there's no motion going on in that ice will just sort of sit there. Will it eventually melt? Yes. But you have a few minutes before that ice begins to really go. Turn this on. Okay, let's see what we can't do here. Now, this was before I was adding a squeezed orange into the flame to make it get that big flame at the very end. So I don't have any orange that goes into this cocktail. But later with the old fashioned, that is how we did it. So we're just going to give this a nice stir. Come on, pal. Don't embarrass me. Well, I saw one go. Oh, we got to turn the lights off. Oh, gosh. Kyle, got to remind me, buddy. Just kidding. I can't blame that on Kyle. Which one do we turn off? This one? Yeah, turn off Phil. 2 new little stickers here. There we go. Oh, that is a umbrella. Don't want that. Oh, Kyle, remind me. I got to put. I have to put toothpicks on the shopping list. Need more toothpicks, or unless you think we have some. Kyle knows what we have. Turn off fill. Hashtag turn off fill. Okay, we're gonna light this here. Let's go down here. Light this up. Make sure we get a nice big flame. Turn it right towards ourselves. Do a little transfer. There we go. And then we're gonna light this up on fire. Come on, you little jerk. Oh, there it goes. Okay. We got some rings. Gotta turn faster. Turn faster, mate. We'll try one more time. I have to get this right. You can see why the bartenders absolutely hated me. We really, this is really not a great cocktail for a busy bar in DTLA. Okay, we're running low on our toothpicks. Try one more time. Here we go. Otherwise, we're just going to lie and said that we did light it on fire and go from there. Oh, there we go. I was turning it the wrong way. That's what we want. There we go. Turn it that way. There we go. That's what we're looking for. A nice hot flame into your cocktail. And now, put that out in a lemon. And now we have an amazing smell in this house. What, or in this bar? What is better than all of those big smells that you can get from a fall cocktail? All of this has now really stuck to the sides of the drink because we have burnt out some of that alcohol. So we've made this very thick. This is a very thick version of Angostura Bitters. It's a little warm to the touch, not super hot. And then we pour our drink right into that. Wash line. Couldn't put any more in there if I wanted to. That was very important. That was very, very important to snooty bars. It was very important that you put the exact amount of liquid into a glass that you possibly could. So we have lit our bitters on fire. That bitters now sticks to the outside. It will incorporate into the drink. We have 1 of sour. We have that lemon. We have 2 of sweet. More or less, we have that sugar, and we have the allspice dram. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, right there. We have 3 of strong. We have the allspice dram, which is adding some strength to this drink. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And we have 40% ABV Calvados. Then we have our weak. Our weak is going to be the water that we shook it with, and it is going to be what do we call this? Apple cider. It's going to be the apple cider that is in there, and a little spice to make it all nice. Those bitters, and again, doing triple duty tonight. The absolute star of this show, the MVP of this cocktail, the St. Elizabeth Allspice Dram. This is the cocktail. I think that it looks nice. I think that's a fun. Why is this? Why is the bar just crooked? The bar just might be crooked. I just want that to get it good. There we go. I might just have a crooked bar. It comes off looking like a color that you wouldn't see in a lot of cocktails. I don't see this color, this sort of cloudy, reddish, brown cocktail. It kind of looks like pie filling. This is how excited I was about this cocktail at one point. I had all these little things to pitch when I was pitching this cocktail. This is the fall up. We talked about putting some garnish onto the cocktail, maybe an apple fan. We talked about putting just a squeeze of the lemon since there's lemon in there. I said, no, I think that the garnish is the fact that we lit the whole thing on fire before. That's the flair. That's the thing that people will remember about this cocktail. Sometimes garnishes are just there so you remember what cocktail you ordered. I want the one with the cherry in the middle and the large thing around. What's that called? It's called the Saturn, because that's what Saturn looks like. I want the one with all those mints. What is that called? It's called the Mojito. Tastes like mint. It has the mints garnished. This one, we would have said, I want the one that is up. It tastes like fall, and you lit it on fire. I'm disappointed with St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram after making my own stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, once you start getting into making your own stuff, it does become kind of an issue, but the ABV in it is nice. I don't know what your ABV on there is, and it's something that we could standardize. So if you want to continue your research, I am giving this cocktail out to the world. If you guys want to start to adjust some ratios, you think you found a better version of this, I say go for it. Absolutely, no doubt about it. You guys get into it, and that's what it is. Let me say hello to Mrs. Tiki Tom. Oh, she said something earlier. What did she say earlier? Maybe she didn't say. Oh yeah. Well, hello, Mrs. Tiki Tom. Anyway, conjunction, junction, what's your function? Maybe that's what she said. Hello, Mrs. Tiki Tom. Good to see you. My Angostura will not light. Amy, I was lighting it the wrong way earlier too. Remember that? This is what you got to do. You have to get it nice and thin, and you have to spin the glass the correct way. What's the correct way? Let's show you the correct way. I'm going to drink that in a second, I promise. Do I have another? I must. Oh, you know what? We'll do it in there. Easier in here. The correct way to spin your Angostura is, let's get another, we're doing a whole fire situation tonight. Was not expecting that, and yet here we are. We're going to light this on fire. Find this little guy right here. And you want to spin the Angostura into the flame. Into the flame. So if you spin it like this, then you're spinning the Angostura away from the flame. You want to spin it, or sorry, if you spin it like this, you're spinning the Angostura sort of towards the flame. You want to spin it so that the Angostura stays on the outside of the glass. So spin it like this, right there. If you want to put your things on the other side, burn my little fingers. You want to put you want to put the toothpicks on this side, then you want to spin it this way, this way. If you want to put it on this side, you got to spin it this way, this side, this way, this side, this way. That is very important because you are trying to light the parts that are sticking to the outside of the glass. I should have remembered that. I didn't remember that because it's kind of an odd concept, but that is how we do it. All right. 23-year-old, beardless, certainly skinnier, no gray hair, Dr. Cush. Wouldn't even call myself Dr. Cush back then. I think I was just going by Scott. I think, in fact, at the association, my name was Bushman. Don't worry about it. Okay, the guys thought it was hilarious, so they called me Bushman and not Cushman. Anyway, this is his old cocktail. Let's see how we did back in the day with an accidental punch. Yes. Oh yeah, Dougie G, get the Ango to go up next to the flame. That's right. Get the. That's a better way to say it. Get the Angostura to go up towards the flame, not making its way towards the flame. There's going to be a big puddle of Angostura. Make sure that that part isn't going towards the flame. You want that part to go away from the flame. That way the flame is sticking to the sides and lighting the whole thing on fire. Bon Bon is here, winner of the 2025 Cush Derby. She is here, and she missed a flame cocktail. And who do I know that likes a flame cocktail? It's Tiki Bon Bon, winner of the 2025 Cush Derby. Good to see you, Bon Bon. I think it's nice. I think I put a couple too many dashes of bitters because I messed it up the first time, but I think I was on to something. I think that this is a very fun cocktail, especially for the young bartender that I was, to create an accidental punch. This warms my heart. Warms my heart. It warms my mouth a little bit too, but it definitely warms my heart. Oh, here's Kyle. These are Dr. Cush's Flaming Old Fashions. Thank you, Kyle, for putting those up. I think I've done them twice, or at least Kyle says I've done them twice. If you guys want to go watch the Flaming Old Fashions, know that at the beginning of the year, we are going to do a full class on we're going to do a whole deep dive into my Flaming Old Fashioned. We are going to cover every aspect of it, and then, and only then, will I start making shorts about it, because my goodness, the mix shorts where I light that thing on fire, gangbusters, really gangbusters, and I want gangbusters numbers. That's all there is to it. Oh, yes, this is the one I was talking about. If you guys want to go back and watch me in definitely a room, in the back of a Silver Lake apartment, you can go ahead and watch that over here. We were shooting on, I have to think I was shooting on a camera that was older than I am, and it looks a little tough. Making one of these tonight, brand new of Cider and Calvados. Yeah, absolutely, Dougie. Tell me what you think. I think at this point, if I was going to make this again, if I was going to like recreate it, maybe a little less lemon, maybe go 1/4 ounce. Oh, it was a Hollywood apartment. Yes, Silver Lake. This is Bon Bon. Silver Lake, and I one time wore a black tank top, and that was I wore it on theme, but I did wear a black tank top, and I heard it from everybody. Everybody let me know no more tank tops, and you know what? I obliged. For the eggnog, will you be making the eggnog from scratch or making a drink with store-bought eggnog? I think that's a good question. That's a valid question there, Amy Salmon. We will be making from scratch. So from eggs, from a little bit of milk. We're going to get into a we are going to be making that from scratch. We're going to get into what a flip is, and we're going to deep dive into a flip and then show you what a milked flip is going to be. That's what an eggnog is. There are lots of ways to make batter for your eggnog. We're not going to do that. We are just going to make a single serving eggnog and go from there. Yes, absolutely, Cocktail Lulu. We're going to go from scratch. No doubt about it. We're going to go from scratch. And that is what Saturday's show is going to be all about. I will have all of Saturday, I think, to prepare, but maybe not. Either way, we will be ready to go at that point. Yes, single serving eggnog. That's my grandmother Cushman. She's a mean old lady, but she and I were the only two people in the whole family that drank eggnog. So she would buy a whole gallon of eggnog every time we had Christmas together, and she and I would sit. She didn't drink. I was far too young to drink. So we would just drink plain eggnog out of a jug together. I'm sure it was an adorable memory. Now it makes me want to kind of throw up a little bit because I think I probably drank the full gallon of eggnog. But because of those experiences, I think doing these single serving eggnogs are incredibly important. That way you can whip up one eggnog or maybe 5 eggnogs, because eggnog is not everybody's favorite thing. DC Debbie Clark does not care for it. Do you have a quick eggnog recipe so I have all the ingredients for the weekend? Sure. Let's go over it. So you're going to need some rum. obviously, some brandy if you can get your hands on it. You're gonna need some whole milk. You're gonna need some eggs. You're gonna need some spices, right? What else do I throw in there? If we want to continue on this little thing, you can spice it up a little bit more with some dram, but that's what goes in eggnog. There's no mystery to it. It's eggs, milk, rum, sugar. You're gonna need some sugar. I assume you have sugar at your place, and some sort of kitchen spice. That's the long and the short of eggnog. That's really all there is to it. And I like to see that other people are messing with eggnog in weird and strange ways. Oh my gosh. I thought it was 6:30. It's 6:50. I'm gonna let you guys go. But yeah, milk, eggs, some sort of dark liquor, spices, sugar. It'll be good. It'll be good. We're gonna separate the eggs. We're gonna do a whole situation. So get ready for that. This Saturday, we're gonna be having that. How about cayenne pepper? It's a kitchen spice. Absolutely. Kyle, for you specifically, I will put cayenne pepper into your cocktail, but only for you. Yes, we're pushing an hour, so Saturday needs to be 2. Okay, all right. I have to get out of here, otherwise we're never going to leave. Thank you guys so much for showing up to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks and watching me make a very old cocktail of mine. 20 years, I believe, this cocktail has been in the making. It makes me happy that I got to bring this out, and I think this is the first time I've ever put this on the show. Very exciting. Until next time, guys, what do we always say? We say, this thing doesn't work. I have to get a sound effect that also says this thing doesn't work, because then the sound effects would make a lot more sense. We always say things like,
why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
And then,
are you trying to drive me crazy?
And then, more importantly,
are you Dr. Jinga Janga?
We're going to find him. We found him once. He was at Tiki Oasis. But we're going to find him again. And then, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
I know.
I think what Captain Jack and Coke is saying is, I also misspelled Tiki Court in the credits. I'm gonna fix that right now. Until next time, bye bye.